When I was a teenager just entering high school, I got caught in the trap that I feel is pretty common where I became way too concerned with what other people thought. I stopped dressing the way I wanted, falling in line with what was trendy. I became way too obsessed over how people saw me, and in my self-conscious developing brain, I let go of a lot of the things that I loved doing, so I didn't have to worry about anyone finding out about the hobbies that younger me thought was so uncool. Today, I want to talk about how making your own decisions about what you like will not only make you happier, but give you back a sense of control in your life, and the one thing that you have to be careful of along the way. More on that later though. Real quick, if you decide you like the video and want to see more of what I do, consider subscribing and leave a comment down below. Now let's get into it. So the first time that I gave up something because people told me to was right around the start of high school, like I said. My parents looked at me and said, "You're way too old for Pokemon. Just give it up. Put them away. It's a kid's game." And at the time, I kind of thought they were right. Most of my friends had moved on from it, so giving it up kind of made sense. I put away Pokemon, and while I was still playing some games, I chose to focus on playing guitar, playing music, writing music, because in my brain, that was what was cool. That's what mattered to me. And that's not to say I don't think that it is. I still love playing music. It's a core part of who I am and what I do. But there was always a part of me that regretted putting away Pokemon forever. By the end of high school, my friend group had changed. People I was playing music with in band were all Pokemon fans, and they convinced me to pick up a 3DS and one of the new Pokemon games at the time. I picked up Omega Ruby, and I picked up Pokemon X at the same time. Playing through those games, I realized I never should have put them down. Taking the time to focus on music was good, and I made a lot of progress with my ability to write and my ability to play, but there was something about coming back to playing Pokemon that just felt right. Fast forward a couple years, and I went down this self-help rabbit hole where I really wanted to get my life together. I felt like I was taking too much time and wasting away my years playing games when other people around me were going out and getting much better jobs, finishing their school, going on to grad school, and I was just hanging out with my friends, playing games and having a good time. And at that time, we were all playing Call of Duty. That was something that never really went away. But I gave it all up. And it took me a few years to realize that that wasn't the right choice to make at all. The issue wasn't that I was playing video games. It was I was playing video games to avoid doing other things. And at the start of the video, I talked about how if you're not careful about the choices you make, they can be bad. This is kind of that. By choosing to indulge instead of addressing your responsibilities, it's really easy to put yourself in a position where things spiral out of control very quickly. And I wouldn't realize this until I went back to Call of Duty after a couple years. There were other benefits to playing the game that I was missing because I'd given it up. These were things like actually having connections, having time to spend with your friends. One thing they don't tell you when you're in school is finding time to connect with people once you have other responsibilities gets pretty hard. I might see my friends a couple times a year, and every time that we get together, it's always a good time, but it's pretty few and far between the times we do get together. So, having a chance to talk to them online by playing games together, that was something that I wasn't aware that I'd be missing out on. Now, I'm not saying there's a right answer or a wrong answer here. Ultimately, the choices we make define who we are. And clearly, because I kept coming back to these games, I felt like they were a part of what made me who I am. In the case of Pokemon, I really liked the strategy that went into it. I liked crafting teams to play the game differently every time. It was that choice element that really grabbed my attention. In the case of Call of Duty, I really liked how competitive the game was. For me, striving to do your absolute best against other people and having that effort be rewarded was a large part of what made it so fun. Yes, the socialization aspect was there, but doing well with your friends while having a good time was some of the most fun that I can honestly say I ever have. That doesn't even stop with the multiplayer either. I really enjoy zombies for the same thing. It's this challenge that you can go through with your friends, and you can have as much fun with it as you want. There are the multiple avenues you can go with running for Easter eggs or just going for a high round, trying to complete difficult challenges that you make up on your own, the sandbox possibilities of the game mode are endless. Now, like I said earlier, too much of a good thing certainly can be a bad thing. As much fun as these games are, the negative potential is pretty high. It's one thing to get on the game for an hour or two, whether that's by yourself or with friends, and another thing entirely to know you have responsibilities waiting, and you spend your entire day, every single day, playing video games. This isn't limited to video games, that's just the angle that I'm taking, because for me, that's the one that has caused me some trouble over the years. It could be reading, it could be drinking or smoking, it could be playing music, it could be socializing too much. Literally any good thing in excess can have a negative downside to it. So the important thing is to recognize at what point it's time to say, okay, let's get back to the responsibilities. Let's get back to doing what I have to do right now. It's okay to have our fun, but if you're starting to neglect the rest of your life, then that becomes a problem. The good things in life should be used to enhance your life, not serve as a distraction. So clearly there is a balance to be struck. You can have your fun, but you can also make sure that everything that you need to do gets done. I can say for me, the choice to come back to these games has been overwhelmingly positive, but I can also see moments where, if I'm not careful, they can be destructive. It's so easy to sit down and boot up the game and pretend that all of your problems don't exist. But the problems are still there. Running away from them just makes your life worse. So certainly by doing a good thing or doing the wrong thing, even if it's something you enjoy, it can cause problems in your life. Just as much as making decisions for yourself can make you happier. Making too many decisions to seek pleasure and avoid responsibility is one of the easiest ways to put yourself in a really bad situation. So be mindful in making these decisions. If something makes you happy, that's great. But if it's starting to reverse the control that you have in your life and actively hurt you, you have to make a decision that says, there's time for this, but right now I need to focus on something that's more important. If you're in school, it's very easy to avoid homework or avoid assignments just to play video games, but that actively hurts your life. You put things off for too long and suddenly you're failing classes. Suddenly, money that you've invested, if you're in university, is down the drain, all because you wanted to avoid hard work. As great as it is to be able to make your own decisions, to choose what you like, you have to know that there's a balance there, and responsibility has to come before pleasure. If you've made it this far into the video, consider leaving a like. If you want to hear more of the things that I do, consider subscribing. Have there ever been times in your life where you've let people tell you what to like, what not to like? Let me know down below. When you stop letting people tell you what to like, you'll find the potential to be happy in the choices that you make is limitless. But you also have to be careful, because that can very quickly become something that hurts you if you do it too much. I know in my case that the choices I've made surrounding playing games that I enjoy has been largely positive, but I can also see moments where that could have been something catastrophic. Thank you for watching the video, and until next time, take care.